Welcome to the WellPlayed VHS podcast, WellPlayed's film and TV podcast. I'm your host, Zach Jackson, and joining me is Nathan Hennessy.
Welcome.
How are we going, my friend?
Yeah, look, not entirely riveted for the upcoming discussion, but it's not all bad. Yeah, we'll have a little fun with this one.
We will, because today we are chatting the first 3 episodes of Twisted Metal Season 2. So, without further ado, the WellPlayed video hangout sessions are happening. Nathan, before we get into Season 2, just a very, very quick recap. Did you enjoy Season 1?
So Season 1 was dumb fun. It wasn't trying too hard to be anything special or acclaimed. It was silly, goofy. Anthony Mackie and Stephanie Beatrice had some good comedic chemistry going back and forth. It was all right. But it did, for lack of a better term, spin its wheels. Like, we didn't see the promise of Twisted Metal in that season. It was still okay, though.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah, I actually, I forgot until Season 2 was, nearing that I actually reviewed Season 1 for the website. I gave it a 6 out of 10, and I said, it's a show that you need to leave your expectations at the door. It is what it is. Feels like the perfect summation. If you're looking for something to fill a weekend on the couch, then Twisted Metal is worth checking out to see if it gets your motor running.
I mean, that's pretty apt, isn't it? Because I must say, going into Season 2, that's kind of how I'm feeling.
Yeah, well, I actually mentioned that I'm keen to see where the ending takes us. So let's get straight into it. Season 2, so I guess spoilers if you haven't seen Season 1, but if you haven't seen Season 1, then why are you here? But so there's your warning. But at the end of Season 1, we kind of get the scene where Calypso essentially reveals that they're going to have a tournament. And John, who's Anthony Mackie, he goes to, I've forgotten the name of the city again, New San Francisco or something like that.
I think that's just, a lot of the time, that's just referred to it as inside, don't they?
Yeah, sure. It's a city somewhere, but yes, it's inside the walls and basically Quiet can't go into the city. But so she basically shoots John and John goes inside, and then Quiet meets up with John's sister on the outside, and that's essentially where we kind of leave it from memory, more or less. Basically, John is being hired to a certain degree to drive for this person known as Raven, who does change characters, which is an interesting. I actually didn't quite realize this, but
I was thrown when it happened. I was like,
Yeah.
did I miss something here? Because it's weird.
Yeah, they kind of play it off as in like whoever's in charge is called Raven, right? Like
We've just got loads of Ravens.
Yeah, nice and easy. The old Raven did this, and now the new Raven's doing this. So I do wonder why Nev Campbell didn't decide to come back for Season 2, but who knows? Maybe it was a scheduling conflict. But so from the start, we just we're kind of getting ready for this tournament that's about to take place, the Twisted Metal tournament, and the first 3 episodes kind of builds up from there. I'm trying not to spoil.
Has us on the road to the tournament.
Yeah, that's a good description. So, what did you think of the first 3 episodes of Season 2 so far?
So, just to be very brief, episodes 1 and 3 maintain that kind of silly, goofy humor that I enjoyed and was pretty low effort to just watch and be entertained. Episode 2 is just a bit of a side mission. It's a detour. And when this series really needs to be pushing towards vehicular combat, going off on a side mission's not really what this show needs. We just need to get to that stuff that we're expecting from the title, and it's kind of out of reach.
Yeah, like one of my main gripes for Season 1 was that there was a lack of that, vehicle combat. For a series, for an IP based on vehicle combat, it was kind of missing. And this season has teased there's going to be a lot more of that. But yeah, so far we've been left wanting. There's a very small. I wouldn't even call it combat. It's a vehicle heavy scene.
It's a straight line chase.
Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty it so far. The only thing, I guess, the thing to note is that this is a 12 episode season. Yeah. I believe maybe we should fact check that just in case, but I'm pretty sure it's a 12 episodes. But yeah, what I actually found quite interesting is this season. So we're getting 3 episodes off the bat. So on Stan, if you're watching here in Australia, and from there it's going to be weekly, which I've found quite interesting. But you're saying 12 is correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So we have a lot of road to travel on, so far, or to come. Sorry, but yeah, it started slow, and I think you have to be in a particular. Well, maybe I have to be, but I feel like a lot of people will feel the same. You got to be in a particular mindset to kind of watch this. I played episode 1, and I hadn't. I wasn't hadn't acclimatized to the type of humor and the type of silliness that is on display here, and I kind of thought, "Fuck, this is shit." Like, why would Anthony Mackie do something like either the writers are doing him dirty? He acts like he can't act. I know that's a weird thing, but he's not. He doesn't strike me as someone who's a relatively, decent big name in Hollywood. But obviously that's how his character is, and it took me an episode to kind of
remember that he's just a big child.
Yeah, to get back into that, and yeah, I don't really know how I feel. Like I don't kind of feel anything. I don't really feel anything.
Babysitter's Club didn't kick you back into gear and go, oh, of course, big child.
No,
that was a very long scene.
I know.
It got me back into gear.
Well, I think it was is that the scene where he's in the bedroom?
He's being told that he's grounded, no DVDs, and I can very much relate to this. If you're stuck in a room with nothing left but a stack of crusty old books, you'll consider the books. So I was sympathetic to that little scene.
I think that's one of the scenes where I thought the acting was. I was like, oh, this is bad.
You're either gonna click or not at that point.
But like I said, I think that's the point there. So then basically John, I keep calling him Mackie, but Mackie's character John comes across some information, a revelation, and then he manages to escape out of the city walls and meets up with Kwai in probably the not best way. So, another event happens there, and he's reunited with his sister, who he has no recollection of, because if you recall from the first season, he has amnesia and can't recall anything from his past. So what do you make of the relationship between those two so far?
Well, we don't really get much of it in episode 1. Are you talking about Quiet and John?
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about John, and I've forgotten the name of his sister in the show.
Oh, okay. Because again, that's all episode 2, isn't it?
Yeah, but that kind of initial. Yes, I think that is from episode 2, but that initial relationship, I kind of. I don't know. I thought maybe that there'd be a little bit more. It was very.
They're not on this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very flat.
It is. They're both coming at this from 2 very comedically different angles, and I don't think they quite bounce off one another the same way that John and Quiet do. But in saying that, Quiet and her have a chemistry established there, so that's something. But yeah, there is obviously an awkwardness there, and some of it's intentional, but some of it's just it just seems like there's jokes that aren't landing because there's no comedic chemistry between these two specifically.
What I found very interesting was that his sister is basically billed as this badass gang leader of the dolls or something like, or to
Yeah.
that I can't remember the
Dollface
name.
of the dolls.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and then whenever she seems to be around him, she's very not much a gang leader type thing. You know, not a person that would have led a cult group across, you know, wherever they've been. Because we do kind of get a little bit of backstory into how that group started, which is very, which I actually think was quite an interesting. I quite like that scene. But it seems like two kind of different people a little bit that I found.
Yeah. So there is a very stark split between Dollface as Joe's sister and Dollface as gang leader, and it is hard to reconcile the two because they behave so differently between the scenes. Do you remember? Is it Lionel? Is that what John's name is revealed to be?
Yeah.
Mr. Lionel.
Yeah.
So she's often referring to him as Lionel, and there's this little bit of tension between them. But they keep playing on it a little bit too much. As I say, that the jokes kind of fizzle for me between those two.
I didn't. I think that kind of sums up the first 3 episodes. It's not quite, hasn't pulled me in yet. I also didn't. I thought the lack of Sweet Tooth, like again, that whole. I think he's an interesting character.
He's sidelined here, isn't he?
A little bit, yeah. Like you barely see him in the first three episodes.
Yeah, they only play him on for gags a couple of times.
Yeah, with his, I can't remember his colleague's name, but
best friend.
Yeah, like he, again, Will Arnett does a great job at voicing this character. Very captivating in his own way. So you kind of want to see more of him, but yeah, we were definitely not treated to that much. And yeah, I guess
what do you think of the grapes? What is it? Grapes, apple, banana.
Grapes, apple, banana.
Grapes, apple, banana. No, you've lost that one. The Sweet Tooth bit where he's like telling him how to like dismember corpses.
Oh
and shit.
yes,
Like,
sorry.
Go for the eyeballs,
yes,
the Adam's apple. And
Yes. I thought it was a particular move that he did. I was like, I'm trying to remember. I remember the big, the big knife.
The grapes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I mean, I think his character, I would say, is probably the highlight. Like, I think he was one of the highlights from season 1. Stupid as it is, but just a well voiced character. What did you make of the production on this so far?
So, I think it has the sensibilities of a pretty camp late 2000s show that would probably only get greenlit for 2 seasons, but it looks decent. Like I've actually got, I don't think when it comes to the vehicular side of things, you'll probably agree with me, but it seems like they're withholding a little bit. Like there is a bit of budget constraint there. Outside of the vehicular combat and stuff, just the drama and everything, it looks fine.
Yeah.
Like at no point am I bothered by it. It's never fantastic, but it's never distractingly bad. Yeah, so make of that what you will. It's fine.
It's a very interesting difference between the treatment that the Last of Us has kind of got with its budget, and it makes me laugh a little bit that for a company that is hell-bent about its perception and wanting to maintain this prestige, look of its IPs, that we've kind of got this rusty, twisted metal, almost budget-esque like TV show
Yeah, it's almost B grade in a way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like it's
it
B grade, but it looks a lot slicker than something
yeah
you'd find in that category.
yeah yeah. I think it's. I still find it strange that they this is a IP that they chose to make a TV show off out of everything that they could have made. But
Mm.
here we are, and yeah. So one of the other characters we get to meet is Mayhem,
Mm.
who um, is captured by Quiet and then seemingly tags along,
Yeah.
and then I don't know how to explain it, but that odd scene where she basically implies that she's the best driver and then can't drive. Um,
It, there's a lot of faffing about with that character, and I'm not
yeah,
quite sure. They've given us nothing to tug on yet as to why we should be interested. Every scene we get that character, it's just um, a play at adolescent humor.
yeah.
I don't even know if that's what you would call it. It's odd. It's a choice, and it's not fun.
No, no. There's some. It feels cheap is not the word I'm looking for, but it just feels like it's like padding is probably maybe a game.
Padding, I
Yeah,
feel good about.
yeah, yeah. I don't really quite understand yeah, who she is, why
Is
she's
she a
there.
comic relief character in a series full of comic characters? I don't
Correct.
get
Like
it.
yeah, like this is like we've already got Quiet, who's kind of her own unique, quirky kind of comedic character, and then you've got this
Yep.
other person who's almost the same, but they're playing off one another. But it's just all a bit bizarre. Tell you what, I did find amusing was the great man, the great Axel. He was.
Yes.
It's almost believable, but but it's not. He was certainly an interesting character. I did like the how would you explain it? The sexual nature of that sequence. It felt
Go on.
how do I this is no, not sexual nature that definitely sounds that's not right, but like the sexual comedy, kind of like it's kind of like the
Keep
Brooklyn
going.
Nine-Nine type comedy where a guy who Terry Crews would take his shirt off and there'd be a comment about how fucking jacked he is, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Now you're bringing me back around. Okay, because
Um,
there's a lot of observation of this guy's sculpted pecs and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Poor old Axel.
I know poor old Axel he's just the meat. He's just the eye candy. But that again,
Chugging petrol to.
that was odd, wasn't it?
The whole sequence is odd, but I appreciate it because I think it was that series being uniquely what it is. Just sometimes it just doesn't give a fuck and gets weird, and that's what
Yeah.
I enjoy. But there's sometimes too little of that. Sometimes they play it too safe. Axel was fucking weird. I quite liked how that whole sequence was set up in almost like a boss arena because you notice they were like walled off with this. I don't really explain it. There's
No, they
a
don't.
sound barrier or some
Yeah.
bullshit. It's complete video game logic. But of course, like use video game logic in a video game adaptation. That's silly, so it makes sense. It doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely one of the more highlights of the first 3 episodes. But even that sequence was short lived. Like it was just.
I'm hoping it was an introduction.
Well, yeah. So that exact that particular sequence was there was just no. It's kind of like how we talk about the lack of car combat again so far. There's no like set pieces if you want to call them that. Like to use, it was just kind of a very let's sneak around him and we're all good.
Again, it was comedically simple. Like he's firing upon, so he's cornered Quiet and John in like a wrecking yard or something like that.
It was John and his sister because they
Oh,
go to
that's right.
the drive-in, which I actually thought was a nice
Yeah.
little.
Oh, that's right. They're in the drive-in.
That
So-
felt like this shows. So just to pause you for 2 seconds, that felt like this shows rocket ship moment, almost in a very very light way.
Rocket ship moment is a reference to The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Oh dear. That's terrible. Yeah, but like he comes in all guns blazing, blows up their car. Like it looks like it's going off, but then they just quickly saunter away. He goes off, goes with some petrol, and has a nap. Like laziest boss fight ever.
Yeah. And the other character we got to meet is the Grim Reaper.
Grim.
And
Oh my lord.
this
This was
one,
another fun one.
yeah, I did. This one's like, so when I talk about actual being like almost, but like it's so bizarre that it's almost believable in this world. I'm talking about
In this
how
world.
he's come to exist.
Mm.
But then you see the Grim Reaper sucking souls out of people, and you're just like,
But is he?
well, I don't know. Isn't that what he was doing?
That's what he thinks he was doing.
Right.
But
Okay.
then we see
Right.
that sequence where they're watching him from the car, and he's just, and they're like, "What the fuck
I'm,
is he doing
fuck. I must have missed that.
in the air?" Oh no, there's a sequence where they play. It was towards the end of episode 3 where I think it was just after this occurred. John and his sister are watching him from a car or something, just watching him on the road, sucking up souls, but they can't see souls or nothing. They just see him licking the air. So
Right.
we're not quite sure if he's entirely all there mentally.
I will be honest. There was a handful of moments where I did kind of just pick up the phone and
That's fair. I think
um,
this show is kind of one where you can afford to do that. I don't think
yeah,
that's wrong.
yeah, I must have missed that because then I do recall the chase or the I guess it's a chase scene with Mayhem and Quiet when Mayhem all of a sudden can learn to drive and we kind of leave season 3 kind of leaves us I guess.
Or episode 3, yeah.
Sorry, I keep saying fucking season. God. Episode 3 leaves us on. I think it's getting somewhere though. Like, it
I
started
hope.
slow. Yeah. Um, but I think it needs to get moving
Yes,
we're
because we gave the entire season 1 space to get moving,
mm,
and now we're starting season 2, waiting for it to get
get
moving.
moving. Yeah, and we're 25% of the way through. We're a quarter in now, so
Yeah,
something's got to happen. I don't quite know. I don't know how they make 12 episodes out of this. I'm trying to. That's what I
padding
think.
is what I'm
Yeah, the
fearful
padding.
of.
The only and these are I'm trying to I don't actually recall the exact length, but they're between 30 and 45, I think, from memory. Maybe like
I think the
36.
first one's like an
Yeah,
extra 5 minutes, but they're usually
yeah,
about 30.
yeah. Which is decent. Like it's
But too short to have filler.
yeah, I know, right?
Uh,
Um,
Imagine if
yeah,
these were 45-minute episodes. No.
yeah. But so far like it's not something that I would if I was not me and I was like I wouldn't be surprised if people like fall off this. Like as someone who is interested in video games and that sort of thing, I want to see it through. But
Yeah.
yeah, like
If you've got no prior investment in this franchise,
to be fair,
why are you
you
watching
probably
this?
you probably haven't made it past season 1 or like far into season 1 if you haven't really got any
Mm.
interest in Twisted Metal. Mm.
Yeah.
Anything that you're hoping to see?
Well, I'm hoping to see some kind of character arc with Sweet Tooth. At the moment, he's just played for comedy bits, and we know that he's on his way to the tournament, but we have no idea if we'll see that journey or what it will entail. They've alluded that he'll be headhunting his rivals, but maybe not. Maybe he's just solely focused on. The plot's kind of not exactly clear to me at the moment, so I'm not really sure what they're trying to set up for this season. Particularly, all the new additions seem a little scattershot.
Yeah.
I just want to see them make up their mind. I think my biggest thing is make up their mind with what they're doing with this Mayhem character, because it seems like they want to spend a bit of time on it. They've got to do something with it, because I'm just kind of confused and irritated at the moment.
Yeah, so the I guess this synopsis is following the revelations of season 1 finale, John and Quiet find themselves entering the deadly Twisted Metal tournament, a sinister demolition derby hosted by a mysterious man known as Calypso, as we said. As they try to survive an onslaught of dangerous new foes and familiar faces alike, including the murderous clown Sweet Tooth, things get complicated for John when he reunites with his long-lost sister, the vigilante Dollface. So, I hope we're not doing that for most of the season, because we actually leave, if
Just the siblings united.
yeah, if you're here, if you're here, I hope you've seen the first 3 episodes. Otherwise, you probably don't need to after what we've just discussed. But we kind of, essentially, to finish the first or the 3 episodes or the 3rd episode, Dollface is like, in order to kind of win this tournament, like, we need the best weapons. And the best weapons are in, I think, Diesel City is the city that they referred to. So
Diesel City, Diesel Town, something like that. Yeah.
yes. So you kind of see them on the outskirts of Diesel City, and Dollface is like, we're going to steal. No, so yeah, like John mentions, like, do you have any money to kind of buy these weapons? And she's like, we're going to steal them. So that's kind of where we're at. So, I mean, based on that, I wouldn't expect much car combat from that.
No.
But
No.
yeah, we'll see where we go from there. But I just want something fun, something fun to happen. Because it's been okay, but nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, at best.
No, you know what? I would say it's been inferior to season 1 so far. Because like you
I think I might agree, at least based on those 3 episodes.
Yeah, because like you said, we spent the whole first season, waiting for this car combat that never came, only to be told, the tournament's in season 2, and now we're at season 2, and we're still kind of waiting for this car combat. So, bring it.
Bring it.
Bring it, Peacock. All right. Any other thing you want to add to this little chat?
No, I just think that season 2's whole episode focused on the siblings reunited was quite boring. I just want us to hurry up a little bit.
It's a neat idea, but yeah, like, we need more of the good stuff.
Let's have some development on the road. We're just spending a lot of time standing still.
Yeah, the other thing that makes this reunion a little bit not hit is that when you think about Quiet and John's relationship from season 1, it's a bit goofy. It's a bit like, it's not serious, but it's serious. I don't know what the right word is, but they had fucking sex in that ball.
In the ball pit.
In the ball pit. Like, it's all very goofy. And here we're kind of expected to kind of not suspend reality, but kind of to take this a bit more seriously. And it's like, this whole show is not serious. Why am I taking this particular element seriously? And that's kind of, why I referred to the drive-in as their rocket ship moment. It was them kind of getting all emotional about their past, and this is what we used to do, and then fucking the gas guzzler came in. So, all right,
that's tonal whiplash.
What do you think of the acting?
I'm not here for good acting. I mean, they're playing their parts. I feel very uncomfortable criticizing the actors in Twisted Metal.
I know, but it's like, I can't tell. I couldn't tell. I don't know if I still can tell. Is it bad acting, or are they good actors playing bad?
I'm genuinely unsure now because sometimes I'm actually with you. I've got to hang my opinion on that one because too often I'm being asked to believe that John Doe or Lionel or whatever his name is like just a very adult child, but then he'll just be on some absolutely competent shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I'm finding it a little bit hard to follow the tone these characters are trying to set. So the acting, I don't know, man.
I do think I think it's more they're playing their parts well by being bad. At least that's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah,
So
I'm telling myself it's meant to be quite juvenile. So like they're meant
yeah,
to be behaving. They're all quite juvenile because they've grown up in a stunted world. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Alrighty, very good. Well, thank you for listening to this little short and sweet episode of the WellPlayed VHS podcast. Season 2 of Twisted Metal episodes 1 to 3 is out now, and like we said, the episodes will be out weekly on Stan if you're here in Australia, and I guess Peacock if you're in the US, and I don't know where else internationally if there's not Peacock available. But hope you're enjoying it. If not, hope you stick around to hopefully enjoy what's to come in the next 9 episodes. And once the season wraps, we'll have our full season review here on the WellPlayed VHS podcast. Until then, I don't have a car pun to end it. Hit the...
Keep revving.
That's it. Rev on.
Yeah, boys.
Later.
Ciao.